I got him big mad. Hey, well, I don't know. I want to check out this video. Someone just barely sent it to me, and I was already going to be making some content. So I said, what the hell? I'll go ahead and watch this with my audience and see what MOD is talking about. Now, this is MOD. Here's a channel. He made another video about me a long time ago when I was talking about, I forgot his name, West Coast Graffiti. He got busted. Channel got taken down, and I never reacted to it. I didn't have time, I guess. I'm a busy man. We all are. But I saw this today, and I want to react to it. Much respect to Homeboy right here. I actually like his channel. He usually, from what I know, he films in the car, and he does commentary on issues throughout the United States and California and all that stuff. But like I said, I like the dude. I like his channel, and someone sent this to me, so I'm gonna react to it right now. Without further ado, let's continue. Check it out.
Oh, what's good, my man of society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Look, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate you going to do that. Now, what I wanted to discuss was a video I had seen done by Nino America, right? It was a short that popped out of my algorithm, right? Where he's talking about how he's fed up and tired of, the whole illegal thing and immigrants and, how everyone's bitching and whining and complaining about ICE and yada, 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 right? And he had mentioned several things, that I want to discuss. One is assuming that all these individuals are criminals when, they're not all criminals, that they're arresting and detaining.
Wrong. They are. Once you step foot on this land illegally, you commit a crime and you are a criminal. It's just simple and plain.
Some haven't even never committed a crime, and we know this to be facts. As a matter of fact, even, they themselves, meaning, Homeland Security, has stated that, yeah, some of them don't have criminal records, but they still came here illegally. Like,
so what do you want them to do, bro? You want them to hurt one of us? Lake and Riley, there's other cases out there. The woman in Texas that she was from Venezuela, I believe, unalived a young woman that was going to the Air Force. I covered that, and she took off with her illegal boyfriend. I mean, what do you want us to do, Homeboy? You want us to just be the victim? You want these people to come here and you say they don't commit no crimes, whatever, but they commit a crime, come here illegally, and I guess you want to wait until they commit a horrendous crime, correct? You want to wait till they hurt us, and then we deport them. Is that what you want? Not me. I say deport them all. Let's have equal opportunity deportations across the board. Simple and plain.
Came into this country illegally, right? We're talking about like working individuals, not murderers, not drug dealers, not, criminals. Like he tries to make it seem like all of these individuals are, bad people and coming with their, I guess, their third world country way of looking at stuff, right? With their negativities, assuming and judging people, speculating that these individuals are, witchcraft and voodoo when you don't know.
They are. Most third world countries, they practice some form of voodoo, hoodoo. Even people in America, when I'm not dumb, Santa Muerte, Maria, whatever they call it, they do all kinds of stuff. They bring that third world mentality bullcrap here, and we're tired of it. This is a Christian nation. We're Americans. This is the United States of America, and I think we should keep this nation Christian, and we should keep it safe from any foreign invaders. Straight up.
That to be facts, but you're going to go ahead and assume. Right. And it's not good to judge people on assumptions, right? Or stereotyping. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, several people have been detained, right, who turned out to be American citizens, right? And Homeland Security, ICE, they just assumed that they were illegals and detained them, right? And then they ended up releasing them after, a headache and all this process and both.
Show me one case of that. I have not seen anything like that. Send the documents, send the info, put in the comments a link or something. I want to see.
Shit that people have to go through just because they were profiling, discriminating. Violating their rights. It's kind of like if they were to do that to you, right? Because you don't fit the typical look of what they consider to be American, right? So it's like if they were to do it to you, you would be offended and outraged by it, right? So now you can understand these individuals and how they feel, when they're, this is happening to them. And not only that, but people don't even know because these people don't identify themselves, right? And, people can be like, well, how do you know they're not criminals? Well, how do you know that they are criminals? It's like the same argument could be used, right?
So MOD, Shadow, what do you want them to do? How do you want them to deport them or apprehend them, right? You get mad when they do it at the courthouse. So what do you want them to do? I guess Trump wants them to self-deport and leave on their own. Is that what you want? I mean, How do you want them to approach them, apprehend them? I mean, they do it at the court. Y'all get mad. Y'all have riots and protests for these people. How do you want them to approach them? I mean, I guess you just got to wait till they hurt one of us. I guess that's basically how it is, right?
That's why people are not supposed to racially profile. You know what I mean? That's why it's not good to do that. Now, you had said that you wouldn't, you're not going to be defending no criminals, and you wouldn't defend no criminals, and, you wouldn't be, backing up criminals. But Donald Trump broke the law. Donald Trump, has a record. You know what I mean? Donald Trump did break the law. So, and you supported him, right? Somebody.
Which law did he break, homeboy? Send me the link. What law did he break? I want to know.
Who broke the law? You said you wouldn't support no one who broke the law, but he just broke the law. Even if people say, well, it was no big deal, or it was just this and that, nonetheless, he was found guilty and he broke the law. So you supported someone who broke the law. But it's like at the convenience, people, pick and choose what's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
I don't care. I'll pick and choose if I want. Straight up. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what you think about that. Straight up. Trump broke the law. I don't give a flip. I voted for Trump. And what? Straight up. Did you know the founding fathers were actually felons? So, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you are, but I'm pretty sure some of your family might be. I know a lot of my family are, right? So, I don't care. Yeah, pick and choose. And what? I don't care. You can think that all you want. I honestly don't care. We won. Y'all lost. They're deporting illegal alien criminals, and we're happy about it.
You know what I mean? And I'm not a Democrat or a liberal or, none of that, right? To be like, oh, I'm for the Biden, because I didn't even like Biden and his administration either, right? And I'm not a fan of, Gavin Newsom and none of these individuals, right? Mayor Best is all right. But as for like the political thing, I just, call it for how I see it, right? And now
I'm sure you do. That's what all the Raza podcasters say, especially those that are backpedaling from backing up Trump, like American Cholo and all them. They weren't for this, right? But let's be honest, most Hispanic Raza, whatever you want to call them, Mexican Americans in America, we're all conservative, we're all conservative in nature, should I say, right? So I just know from my standpoint, from me growing up in an area in Texas that's primarily conservative, growing up, not even knowing about politics, I knew, looking around my people, now that I think about it, that we were conservative. We didn't believe in none of this weird crap. We didn't believe in none of this left-wing, leftist ideology whatsoever. It was never something that we believed upon. And I would even say that a lot of Hispanic families, Mexican families, are pretty based in what they believe in. And of course, you really won't see it on the internet, but we all know. We all know how they really feel about other races and about other situations. I'm not going to say it here, but pretty based and pretty conservative and traditional, in the upbringing and our lifestyles.
You can't be upset or like baffled of why these individuals are proudful of their heritage. People are going to be proud of where their roots are at. That doesn't mean that they don't love America or they don't like America, right? You can love America and also be proud of your roots, right? When you were saying about how can people wave, two different flags. Just because you're waving the Mexican flag doesn't mean that you don't love America, right? But
but when you burn the American flag, what does that mean?
Proudful in your roots. You have pride in where you come from, your roots. So it doesn't necessarily now mean that you don't love America, right? Or you're hating America, or you're because if that's the case, they should go back to their country. Like, nobody's saying that people dislike America and everything like that. Now, when you hear people complaining, it's because of the injustice that's happening, the discrimination, right? That's being handed to these individuals. And the thing is that America's great, right? It's the land of the free. You have a lot of freedoms that you wouldn't have in any other country. But just because America's, great in that, it doesn't mean that it can't be improved or that nothing bad is happening, right? And that people should be grateful about the rights that they do have. It's kind of like saying if you were to live in a country where women get raped, but they don't get murdered, and then you tell them, oh, don't complain about it. At least you're not getting murdered. In another country, women get murdered. So right here, you're just getting raped. So it's not that bad. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, how about they shouldn't get raped or murdered? You know what I mean? Like, you can always improve in things, just because, one is not as bad as the other doesn't mean that it can't improve or there's no room for improvement, right? Or that everything's a-okay. You know what I mean? And I get where you're coming from about how, you're proud to be American, right? And people take shots at you for that, right? Because you were saying that, some people say that you look more Mexican than others, right? And I do get that. There is a lot of people who don't know how to voice their opinions on their sides. And there is ignorance on both sides. You know what I mean? So I understand that. But one thing that tends to happen is that a lot of people grab their interactions with Hispanics and then they try to apply it to the whole entire ethnicity, right? Because this problem is not just a problem that's targeting Hispanics or Mexicans, right? But yet you're making it a Mexican issue. Like, I'm tired of these, Pedros and these Mexicans. But this is an immigration problem. But you're focusing all your energy and negativity on the Mexicans.
Inaccurate. If you follow my page on Facebook, all my platforms, I posted it today. There's someone, Chinese national, I believe. I've been saying it. I post them. There was a white guy from Africa that was deported. I tried to post that, but it slipped my X feed, but I will when I get the chance. I just told you, bro. Anybody listening, I'm an equal opportunity deporter. I want all of them gone. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what age you are. I'm actually more based on the platform. I'm more, how do I say? I'm more fair across the board, should I say? Because I want them all gone. I don't care where you're from. Now, the reason I talk about, or you might think I'm talking about Mexicans or whatever, because people have this misconception. I've made videos about this, put on my TikTok. My second page is blowing up. But just because someone says illegal, people just want to perk up these antennas and say it's someone from Mexico or a Mexican or something like that. No. And I've even said it before. I got videos stating this. I got a couple recently posted that I don't even really think about Mexicans whenever I talk about illegals. Y'all think about Mexicans. You do. Y'all do. Not me. I'm thinking about the others. My city has been flooded and invaded with Cubans, Venezuelans, Guatemalans. Everybody and their mama has come to my city. And to be honest, I even said this before too. I liked it better when it was more of a Hispanic population. They were, immigrants, illegals, whatever the hell it was back in the day, 10, 15 years ago. But today it's not like that. So he's saying I'm only focusing on Raza and Mexicans. That's not true. I guess maybe he sees some of my stuff and it goes viral because everybody else is, making it hit the algorithm. But I've said it before, and everybody knows my stance. Build the wall, deport them all, even abuelita. So I'm not just focusing on one sect of people. I'm saying everybody, any and everyone here illegally has to go. But again, like I said, it's not my fault that him and other people hear the word illegal and they automatically think of Pedro or Pancho or something, right? I'm talking about everybody. I'm simple.
For some strange reason, right? I don't know, why that is, right? If this is not just a Mexican American problem, right? But it's a immigration problem, right? But like I said, you are gonna have ignorant people on this side, right? But that doesn't reflect on the teachings of all Mexicans, or all Mexicans are like that, or all Mexicans are negative, or all Mexicans. You get what it's kind of like. There's a lot of serial killers who are white, right? A lot of mass shooters were American, white individuals. Does that mean all white people are negative and shooters and everything? No, it doesn't, right? There's some white folks that are racist. Does that mean all white folks are racist? No, it doesn't, right? I mean, being Americans, right? So just because there is some Americans who are negative and who are, racist and who are, coming, with a bunch of prejudice, doesn't mean that now I'm gonna be like, oh, all these Americans are like that, or all Americans like that. Like, no, you know what I mean? That would be reckless for me to come and say.
Yeah, but that's how you think, though. But let's be honest. What is the general consensus of the people that are like you? Even I would say someone like me. I'm from Southside Midland, Texas, but I ain't dumb. That's a common mindset of a lot of I would say minorities, that the white man's the devil. He's the boogeyman. Be honest, Shadow. What do y'all really think about the white man? Be honest about that. I'll ask you that right now. What do you think about the white man? What does the people, your people, think about the white man? Be honest, bro. Tell the truth.
It would just be, just some isolated individuals with just, this individual here or there, you know what I mean? But doesn't reflect on behalf of the whole entire group. So it's never good to do that, to try to brand a whole entire group a certain way just because of your interactions or what you have seen. Yeah,
of course it sounds good. Everything he says sounds good. This is the politically correct answer or take on this situation and scenario. I'm not going to say he's lying, but I will say he's lying because he knows. Everybody knows. The thing is, I say what you don't want to say or can't say or won't say on the internet. I just say it because I'm not dumb.
About these individuals, right? Because these people don't speak in behalf or show all of, the raza's behaviors. You get what I mean?
No.
Like when it comes to the, negativity, right? So I can understand, the frustration, and I can understand you being prideful in, being American and being born here, right? Same with these individuals, right? They're prideful in where their roots are at, right? But that doesn't mean that they don't love America, right?
But see, that's what you don't understand, homeboy. When you escape the whole countries, the third world countries like Mexico or in any other country, when you come here, all that stuff is out the window. You're now in the United States, and you should move and act accordingly. That's the problem. Y'all want to hold on to these traditions and this culture of a country that you don't even live in no more. That makes no damn sense at all. Citizens that become naturalized here, they got to pledge allegiance to this country. They got to basically assimilate and want to be Americans. They have to take a test to become citizens here. So you know what? Forget all that crap. Yeah, don't forget where you came from, the stuff you escaped, but don't bring that over here. That's the problem. Big problem.
Because this is where they were born and where they live, and the reason why they chose to come over here. Now, I agree. People should come here the legal way, right? And you just can't have open borders. I completely understand all of that, right? Because you would fuck your economy up. This is very true, right? But the way they're going about it is not the right way. Here, trip out on this. Obama deported more people than any president ever. You can look it up. I don't have a reason to lie. Look it up.
True.
He deported more than any president, more than Donald Trump's not even close to reaching the number of deported that Obama did. But you never heard about it. It never made the news, right? And cell phones exist back then, right? They were around back then. People were still, recording shit back then, right? So how come you want to see a bunch of videos being uploaded and everything? Because Obama did it the right way. He went about it the right way.
Not true. Everybody has a 1080p 4K cell phone nowadays. I think that has a lot to do with it. It's a whole different day and age. There wasn't social media presence like there was, like there is now compared to him back then. But who cares? I mean, Obama was a horrible president, but I do commend Obama for deporting people. But hear what he's saying? He agrees with deportations. He just don't like how it's being done. What the hell? It's like when they tell you, oh, you speak the truth, but I don't like how you say it. The law is the law, homeboy. You're here illegally. You got to get deported. And if we find out, we're going to report you. Simple and plain.
Not just, any random people that you see on the street and just assume, right? And without even identifying yourself, without even providing any type of documents and paperwork, right?
Bro, the police and ICE are not stupid, bro. And a lot of illegals make TikToks and all kinds of things, all kinds of videos taunting the police and law enforcement. They even I've seen them in the comments, put their address and I'm here, come get me, this, that, and the third. The police and ICE are not stupid.
That is a reckless way of, going about the matters, right? Because people don't know who you are, or they're just trying to kidnap you. And people are saying, well, don't they see their vest? Their vest says ICE or whatever. Like I said, hey, in normal street clothes, anybody could strap on a vest and it say ICE or whatever, right? But you don't know if they're not identifying themselves.
Bro, if that, maybe I think one of y'all was doing it in Cali, right? One of y'all was impersonating ICE. That was one of your homeboys, I think, right? Or someone from Cali. But let's be honest, that's not the case here. One out of 100,000 people are doing it or something. Show me the actual proof that people are going around acting like they're ICE and deporting people or kidnapping them. It ain't happening. Not like how he's saying and how they make it out to be, y'all. This is crazy. This is basically propaganda and brainwashing. But I mean, it's his opinion, but it's not true. Again, put the link in the comments of people going around and kidnapping people and wearing ICE clothing. It's not true. It's not happening.
You get what I mean? When they're just running up to these individuals. I don't know if it's just to catch them by surprise or what it is, right? Why they're going about it. But the way they're going about it is why it's a big deal. It's why it's why you see it all over the news and why people are, blowing it up as much as they did. Because like I said, Obama deported more people, but you didn't see a fiasco like this, right? Because he didn't go about it like how Donald Trump is going about it.
Nope, because the left-wing ran media, right, doesn't like Trump. Okay? So they loved Obama. So they covered for him.
The illegal way, right? Because it's violating people's rights. You know what I mean? Hey, and that's not it's not political rhetoric, right? Because like I said, this is factual. People can go and look it up, right? Hey, like I said, people just got to bring the proof, but
where's it
just
at?
Can't go based off of, what people say, right? Like we got to bring the actual proof. So, I think people just let their emotions get the best of them, right? Like how they personally feel about a matter, right? And then want to go about it the illegal way, right? Like violating people's rights and breaking the Constitution, right? When people were saying that we should uphold the Constitution, but yet at their convenience they want to break it, right?
Man, this is a typical leftist tactic, right? It's like when they want to use the Bible to, say that deporting people was wrong, yet they don't even live by the Bible. They don't read the Bible. They're not Christians, yet they use one verse to push a narrative or an agenda to let anybody and their mama come over here. Like what he's doing right here, straight up. Now you want to talk about the Constitution, right? Now you want to talk about the Constitution now, but and when it don't benefit you, you ain't even going to bring it up. Homeboy probably never even read the Constitution.
When that's not how society works. That's not how America works.
It's working now, baby.
You know what I mean? It's one of the reasons why America's great. But people want to now start to change the Constitution and change the way people do things, right? And it's like, well, you're saying to uphold the Constitution and the country's, a great country because of these reasons, right? But these are the very reasons you're breaking now. You know what I mean?
No.
Because, like you said, you're proud to be American, right? But if we're talking about if people are saying that people should just go back to where they come from, like let's say your ancestries, right? Like your grandfather, grandmother, let's say they came from a different country, then you wouldn't be American, right? Because you don't fit the typical American, what these people consider at least to be a true American, right? Because of our brown skin. You know what I mean? And even though, like I said, we're proud to be American, right? But these individuals don't see us that way. Even those who are Trump supporters and MAGAs, You get what I mean? This country was built off of immigrants, bro, because it's true. There's no such thing as an American. Where were our founding fathers from? They weren't Americans. You know what I mean? They were Europeans. And now people could say, why is there so many people here that speak Spanish? Or why is, the culture, their culture, so rooted here in America? Well, bro, this used to be Mexico, bro. So you're going to have roots of family and generations that, were Mexican, that were already here when they became America, right? So it's not like, it's like taking over Mexico and then wondering why there's so many Mexicans, right? Or if Asians came to America and conquered it, right, and took it over, and they wonder why there's so many Americans and why people are speaking English. Well, bro, it's rooted as America. You get what I mean?
No.
So that's the reason why you see a lot of that here, because like I said, the culture was already rooted in the land, that it used to be. You know what I'm saying? But overall, that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Shut up, we out.
Yeah, let me get back over here. My bad, y'all. Where's my main? Boom. So I'll leave with that. I like the Homeboy. I don't like him any less. I mean, he has his right to opinion. He made a video. I responded to it. I'll just say that, it was just a typical talking points from pro-raza, anti-ICE, anti-illegal alien deportation. This is how they think. It's normal. He's actually more respectful than a lot of people that, comment on my videos. It's just simple. We won. Y'all lost. The rule of law stands, and you could try to bring up all this stuff from the past. Like, how many generations have to pass before, we forget all that crap and say, hey, I was born here. My parents were born here. It's like, how far do you want to go back? I mean, my kids are born here. They have no allegiance to Mexico or any other foreign land. They don't speak Spanish. They speak English. I'm pretty sure your kids do too, bro. Embrace it. Embrace your true identity. Once you cross that border, you know damn well you're an American citizen. Boy, you're at the checkpoint. American citizen, sir. Boy, you ready. You already know. Nobody wants to live over there in Mexico. Maybe some of y'all do, but it's the greatest country of them all. We have laws and orders, and we have a border, and it should be enforced. I did this quick reaction video. Again, I want to see proof. He's alleging that we don't have any proof. Yeah, he's making all these allegations. Send me the proof. I haven't seen nothing of this, and I'm all over X all the time just looking for stories and whatever, and I have seen everything he's saying. I haven't seen it. There's a boogeyman out there. I don't know. But like I said, shout out MOD. He's cool, I guess. He kept it respectful, but keep it real, bro. Keep it real. I know you probably, I don't know if you can, or I don't know what your situation is. You're in California. I'm not. I'm in West Texas, and it's a lot, different down here. But I just say what I want. I'm not trying to be internet famous. I've actually realized that it's probably best to not even be known, especially whenever you have these kind of point of views that I have. They make you a target, your family a target, and that's just how it is. But I'm already in the game, so what can I do at this point? So there he is, y'all. MOD, tell me what you think in the video. Who do you agree with? I'm not going to change my way of thinking. Like I said, every illegal alien needs to be deported. It's the rule of law. We can't just have open borders. We just can't have people doing whatever they want, because it's unsafe for our families, simple and plain. We don't know who they are. This guy, think about it. He wants to defend illegal aliens, trying to give them rights, trying to act like they're U.S. citizens or have constitutional rights and all this stuff, right? And it sounds good, but let's be honest. A lot of them are escaping third world countries for a reason, due to safety and danger, right? And they want to come here. They don't want to assimilate or speak English. That's a problem. They should come here the right way, and forget about that crap and embrace the United States. And then you don't even know the people that come here. If they disregard the law of the land to even come here correctly, what makes you think that they're not wanted? Like the two illegal aliens, they were just arrested in Odessa, Texas for homicide and kidnapping in Mexico. They're here in Odessa, two of them. One of them, I'm making a video. I'm speaking to make a video right now. Stole somebody's truck downtown Midland, I think a day or two ago. Wrecked. DPS had them right here in little old West Texas, Midland, Texas, little oil town. Usually pretty quiet, not anymore. But he wrecked right there, downtown Midland, one of the craziest places to wreck in the city, where a lot of us, have our families, and no disregard for the law. So I'm not going to be like MOD or anyone else trying to sit here and say, they didn't commit no crimes, let's give them due process and all that. No, they didn't care about due process when they came. They're here committing crimes as soon as they step their foot on this land, and then I'm not going to be a victim or let my family be a victim and wait till they hurt one of us before we deport them. They need to be deported ASAP. You want to come into the United States, come in correctly. Even Mexico's deporting people. Even Mexico's having, protests and all kinds of stuff too. Every country has laws, orders, and borders, and we should respect them all. Excuse me. And with that, there's my reaction to his video. I like his content when I see it. He has good points, but this one I just think that he's just being too emotional with his take, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the views. I don't know. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. Christ is Lord. Build the wall. Deport them all. Even. Abuelita. With that, I'm out of here. And remember, you ain't gotta like it.